Hello and welcome. Sometimes you hear a phrase that just stops you in your tracks. Today, we're diving into one of those. Arise, awake. Now, this is so much more than just a motivational quote. It's an ancient, urgent command to start a pretty profound inner journey, and we're going to explore exactly what that means.
So, where does this incredible line come from? Well, it's ancient, from the Upanishad, and it was the great Swami Vivekananda that really brought it to the world's attention. But let's break it down. What does it actually mean to arise and awake? It's a command to shake ourselves out of a deep spiritual sleep, to go and find those who are already enlightened and learn the truth. And as you can see, it says stop not till the goal is reached. This is a journey with a real destination.
Okay, so why the big rush? Why do we need to awaken? Well, here's a mind-bending idea from a spiritual perspective. What if this life we're living, all our joys, our heartbreaks, our goals, is actually a dream? The idea is that we're living in a kind of spiritual slumber, and this is the call to wake up from it. And what's pulling the strings behind this dream? It's a concept called Maya. Think of Maya as this grand cosmic illusionist, the ultimate magician. Its whole job is to create a kind of veil, making the temporary world seem totally permanent and real. It's like a fog of ignorance that keeps us wandering, life after life, believing this whole show is the ultimate truth. This ties right into the idea of samsara, that endless cycle of birth, death, and then rebirth. The source material calls it samsara swapnatulya, which literally means the cycle of life is just like a dream. Think about it. When you're dreaming, everything feels so real, right? The happiness, the fear, it's all intense. But then you wake up and poof, it's gone. That's the exact same perspective here, but on the scale of our entire life. And just look at the difference here. It's like night and day. On one side, you've got the dream state. We're kind of driven by ignorance, we're tangled up in attachments, our ego is in the driver's seat, and honestly, it leads to a lot of suffering. But then, look at the other side, the awakened state. That's where you find true awareness, real freedom, self-realization, your true being. This isn't just a small tweak, it's a complete reality shift. All right, so if we're all sleeping, what keeps hitting the snooze button for us over and over again? What are these chains that keep us trapped in the dream? Well, the teachings are very specific. They point to 6 powerful inner enemies that are always working to cloud our minds. So let's meet the crew, shall we? It all starts with kama, this endless, insatiable desire for things. And what happens when that desire gets blocked? Boom, it turns into krodha, or anger. That just fuels lobha, or greed, the feeling that you never have enough. Then comes moha, this deep, delusional attachment to people and things that are by nature temporary. Mada is the big one, pride, ego, that constant feeling of I and mine. And finally, matsarya, or jealousy. We've all been there, right? Scrolling and comparing our life to someone else's. These 6 aren't out there. They're the real enemies within. And this quote, wow, it just hits the nail on the head when it comes to ego or mada. We get so attached to our identities, right? Our looks, our jobs, our status. But the teachings remind us that all of that is just a temporary costume we're wearing in the dream. The real challenge is to look past all that pride and wake up from the delusion. Okay, so we've got the problem, and we know the chains that are holding us down. So, what's the escape plan? How do we actually start the process of waking up? Well, the path, according to these teachings, is all about inner purification. And here's the key phrase you need to know. Antakarana shuddhi. It might sound complicated, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It means the purification of the inner instrument, your mind. Think of your mind as a mirror. Right now, it's covered in the dust and grime of those 6 enemies we just talked about. When it's dirty, it can't reflect your true nature. So the very first step to waking up is, you guessed it, we've got to clean the mirror. So how in the world do we do that? Well, there's a whole toolkit. It starts with constantly remembering a higher truth, or the divine, in our day-to-day life. It involves bhakti, which is this powerful path of devotion, channeling all our emotions towards a higher ideal. It also means consciously trying to live by higher values, like compassion and truthfulness. It means actively cultivating good qualities, or sattva-guna. And, maybe most importantly, it means seeking out wisdom from those who are already awake. And if you needed a little extra motivation, listen to this from the great philosopher Adi Shankara. He's basically saying, hey, day and night, your life is slipping away. Time is just ticking on. But our desires, they're not letting go on their own. This is a wake-up call within the wake-up call. The time to start doing this inner work is right now. All right, So we've talked about being in a dream, and we've looked at the path to waking up. But what's the point of it all? What's the final destination of this journey? What really lies beyond the dream?
First, we have to grasp just how incredibly lucky we are. The teachings say that a human birth is unbelievably rare and precious, a concept known as Manusya Janma Durlabham. Unlike any other form of life, we have this unique ability for self-reflection to ask these deep questions. And that opportunity leads to one ultimate goal: moksha, liberation. This is the grand prize. It means finally, truly waking up from the dream of samsara, breaking free from that endless cycle. It's the ultimate freedom, the moment you realize that your true self isn't this temporary body or personality, but something divine, eternal, blissful, and aware. This is what we're all really looking for. So, we end right where we started, with that powerful call to arise, awake. This journey from the dream to the awakened state, it's the greatest adventure any of us can ever undertake. It's a journey from illusion to reality, from darkness to light. And so the only question left is a personal one for you. Now that you've heard the call, what is your next step?